my granny.
This is my grandmother.
And this is my grandma.
Seniors are very important.
I love you, Babcha. We need you.
You are loved.
When the sun is bright or in the darkest night, we're all in this together. I've got many friends, and you are one of them. We're all in this together. It will be okay. Ça va bien aller.
Ça va bien aller.
I've got many songs to sing, won't you? Sing them too, sing them too.
Hi, my name is Makhena Rankin Guèrin and welcome to this episode on Indigenous Hoop Dancing. So today I'm going to share with you my passion for the medicine of the hoop dance. The hoop dance is a medicinal dance. It is not only a medicinal dance, but it is also a storytelling dance. So the dancers tell a story through their dance with different shapes or animals or symbols. So my Indigenous roots come from Abitibi-Winni First Nation, also known as Picogan, in the Val d'Or region in Quebec, Canada. So my mother is a dancer. My first memories of me dancing was me on the powwow Harvey in my little diaper, dancing around all crooked and all falling over. But honestly, it wouldn't even surprise me that I was already dancing in my mother's stomach to her heartbeat. So one of the reasons I love hoop dancing so much is because it is a medicinal dance. And I am somebody who've always had a passion for medicine from a very, very young age. I always knew I wanted to go in the healthcare field. I either wanted to be a doctor or a nurse, a naturopath, a medicine woman. It was always something associated with medicine. And when I started hoop dancing and started feeling the medicine for myself and started seeing the medicine affecting others, I just wanted to show it to and share it to as many people as possible. So at the senior home, my position is called a resident specialist. So I am a caregiver. I help them with whatever care they need. And I serve food and I do a little bit of housekeeping on the side. So at the beginning of the pandemic, my mother was uncomfortable with me living at home and working at the senior home because she was worried that I would bring the virus back home. My mother, being somebody immunocompromised, she doesn't have a very strong immune system, which means that she is very high risk of having complications from COVID, which is why she was so afraid and anxious of me coming in and out of the house for work. So she told me it's either I keep working there and find somewhere else to live, or I stop working to keep living at home. And I could not see myself letting my residents go, especially in a moment where they needed me so much. So I talked to my boss and arranged so that I get a room at the senior home. And I actually stayed there for 6 months. I was planning on staying there for a month, maybe 2 months max, but it extended quite a bit. So in this picture, you see me with 2 of my lovely residents. And I've gotten quite close to them over the years that I've been there at. We've had many conversations about spirituality, and they're very, very lovely people. I love all my residents so much that I've given them countless hours of volunteer work. I actually have over 4,000 hours of volunteer work at the senior home, and still counting. I spend a lot of time outside of my shift hours doing things like manicures, pedicures, doing volunteer work, playing pool with them, playing games with them, just because I know they need that human interaction, and especially in a time like this. And if a little bit of my time means so much to them, then I'm more than happy to give as much as I can. They don't look too happy in the picture, but I swear they're happy. And being a caregiver in a senior home during the pandemic, when everything was closed down, the seniors weren't able to get much entertainment. We weren't able to have anybody come in. So being a performer myself, being an Indigenous dancer, I decided to put in upon myself to grab my hoops, grab my regalia, and do them a dance. And they really loved it. And I've been doing it quite regularly ever since. Whenever we've got open slots for happy hour, I'm always happy to jump in and share my medicine with them. Especially that in my culture, we see elders and seniors as the most valued members of the community. It is a true honor for me to be able to share with them the medicine of the hoop dance. I'm trying my very best to keep transferring that knowledge to the next generations. Like, for example, I am teaching my little brother how to hoop dance, and anybody that would like how to hoop dance, really, I'm more than willing to teach them if they're willing to put the work in. Because it's a whole lot of work. I've had to put at least thousands and thousands of hours into hoop dance to be where I am today, so it's a lot. So it is hard to know the origins of the hoop dance because many tribes say having started it. But one of the uses for the hoop dance was whenever there was language barriers between 2 tribes, they would offer gifts of peace, but they would also tell stories of peace and brotherhood through their dance, showing that they were here as friends instead of as enemies. It was also used by medicine men to have different visions. So the hoop dancers would dance with their hoops very, very fast, and the medicine man would look through it for different visions. Surely enough, in the 1900s, the hoop dance was actually made illegal. People would get imprisoned for doing what I am about to show you today, which is why it's so much more important to revive the dance and keep it alive. Traditionally, the dance was actually only a men's dance, and when it was made illegal to keep the dance alive, they started teaching the dance to women. And considering that history, hoop dancers, some of us wear an apron, which is usually a men's accessory for the regalia, but women wear it when they are hoop dancers. And being somebody two-spirit, meaning that I have both male and female spirit inside of me, I feel very at ease wearing a regalia that is kind of unisex. So what I am wearing is called a regalia. It's important to say that it's not called a costume, because when you wear a costume, it's to become somebody you are not, whereas a regalia is a reflection of my spirit. Every single color, every single design, symbol has a meaning behind it. So the gold colors and the holographic sequins on me is to represent that. I like to shine bright and flash when I dance. I really feel like a dancing fire when I dance, so I thought that these colors were a very good representation of that. I've got a little orange circle right here, and the orange circle represents the meaning of my name, which is Harvest Moon. And so Makhena is actually Harvest Moon in Lakota, and which is where my name comes from. And then we've got the 2 stars right here, which is my spirit name. She is Evening Star, Morning Star, which was given to me by an elder not too long ago. And then I've got a lot of rainbows on my regalia to represent my two-spirit pride. And I've got this little medicine pouch right here that carries different medicines like tobacco. And tobacco in my culture is one of the most sacred medicines that there is. It's a medicine that is used to speak with Creator, to do offerings, do prayers. And yeah, I've also got different colors of the medicine wheel on me. So I've got the yellow, the red, and some black. So being somebody two-spirit and the hoop dance being a unisex dance, I really feel like I'm truly able to express myself freely and truly through my dance. I am able to combine aspects from traditional men dance with traditional women's dance. For example, I really like to incorporate the elegance and the lightness and the beauty of women's traditional dance with the groundness and the representations of different animals and hunting and things that you would usually see men doing. I love being able to combine both and kind of developing my own style throughout the year. Not only am I combining with both male and female traditional styles, but I'm also combining contemporary styles with traditional styles. So when I hoop dance, I feel like a fire inside of me. I feel an overload of energy coming from not only within me, but coming from the land, coming from the spectators around me, coming from my ancestors. There's just all of these energies coming from all around, coming from my hoops as well. And I just focus that energy into my hoops and focus on the music and allow my body to really feel and react to the music. And it is one of the best feelings in the world. So when the hoop dancer dances, nothing is planned in advance. The hoop dancer fully dances from the spirit and the heart, and kind of really expresses themselves through the dance. And no two dance will be the same. And I find that really beautiful about the hoop dance. And not only will two dance not be the same, but there is also different perceptions of the dance. So two different spectators could see two different stories in the hoop dance, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There is no right or wrong way of seeing a hoop dance. It's more of like a feeling. All right, so I've got my two hoops right here. Sometimes I do a bit of a spin, and then I clack them together, put them one inside of the other, and then I can make a lovely bird. Just flying. It can be a butterfly too. Whatever you see, there is no right or wrong way of seeing it. Every spectator will feel a different emotion, and that emotion is the emotion that they are meant to feel. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that laughter can be one of the best medicines. That's because it's very true. Happiness and certain emotions have a very good impact on the body, mind, and soul. And that's what the hoop dance works on. So it's that emotion that gets evoked when the person watches the hoop dance that acts as medicine for the body, mind, and soul of the spectator. So all of my hoops are color coordinated, so there is different sized hoops for different moves. So as you can see, this one right here is yellow in the middle, whereas this one is orange with red on the side, and this one right here is orange with yellow on the side. So the ones that are orange in the middle are very similar in size, but slightly different. So I've got other hoops with orange and red on the side, and they are the exact same size as this hoop right here. So they've all got slight variations in the colors, and this allows me to keep the same sized hoops for different moves. So like for example, if I keep the hoops at the same size, then I'm able to make moves like the planet, for example, a whole lot easier than if they were different sized hoops. If they were slightly different in size, and it would break apart when I'm trying to make the move, and that doesn't look too good while you're dancing. So So the hoop dance is meant to look like an illusion. Even though it might look borderline magical, there is a science behind the magic. So I'm going to show you that one move I just did, breaking down into a couple of steps. So I've got my 3 hoops right here, going to put my leg in, let go of the hoop that is the closest to me, and then put my leg in. Then once I can do that, usually I spin to keep the transition smooth, but I open it to kind of make it look like a kind of a flower, and then I kick it while I fold it into place like that, and then you've got yourself a globe. So as you can see, all of these hoops are the same colored in the middle, which means that they fit perfectly together when I try to make a move like this. If they were different colors, they wouldn't stick together like this. If I would try to make this move, they would just break apart. I'm just trying to give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek behind the scenes of what happens when a hoop dancer dances. So the song that I will be dancing to today comes from a drumming group in my area. And when these drummers hit their drum, they're representing the heartbeat of Mother Earth. So when I dance to that beat, I am honoring Mother Earth and all of creation. So the reason that Indigenous people are so connected to the land is that we see life in more of a circular way than a hierarchy. We acknowledge that our life is not necessarily more important than the life of a tree, and that we truly do survive off of the land. The land doesn't need us, but we need the land. So the land should come first, because after all, the air that we breathe comes from trees, and the water that we drink comes from our rivers and oceans. It is so easy to forget how truly and deeply connected we are to the land. And the land doesn't only feed us, but it feeds the past generations and the future generations, which is why in our actions, especially with the way that we treat the land, we should consider the past and especially the future generations to come. Thank you for joining me on this episode today of Indigenous Hoop Dancing. I hope that the medicine reached you and brought you some positive feelings to brighten your day.